What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's good to see you today on the Speak and See Show. I ask you to like, subscribe, and click that notification button so when I get information out, you get information in. I want to first thank each and every one of you right now for the email I just got from Google saying this. Yep, I have hit now over, the Speak and See channel is over 4 million views starting September 1st. And I have all of you all to thank for it. You know, we are pushing this, just shows you how many people and how many small businesses need what we provide here, the service that we can try to give you to get you those loans and grants through the SBA that you are in need of and are deserving of as a small business owner. Once again, thank you all so much. I am very, very, very grateful. Thank you. You've become my friends. You've become my family in all of this. And I just want to say thank you all so much for your support with this channel. We're just iron sharpening iron here with one another, helping each other get through this mess of the SBA and the Eidl loans and the mess of COVID-19 pandemic that it is just distraught many, many, many businesses out there. So thank you all once again very much. Oh, you know, I'm missing my Devin White helmet. You know, I really got to get him over here. Can you see that? Okay, yeah, my autographed helmet by Devin White. I gotta have that. Okay. Now I am surrounded by winners, including you, and including Jason McElhone, who I want to shout out right now. He had asked earlier, I saw his video today, another wonderful piece of art by the man who is out there fighting for your small businesses, Jason McElhone. He's follow him on YouTube and Twitter. And you all who watch this channel, follow him as well. But he requested an email. He asked me to reach out to Stubby, congressman down in Sarasota. He actually is a congressman for a large district in South Florida, about an email that Jason, your friend, had gotten saying that there were 600,000 backlog from the SBA, saying you got the email recently. Well, I just posted a video up. I sent it to you on Twitter. I also emailed it to you as well. Yes, your friend seems to be a viable source there. He sounds legit. Sounds like what he said is actually happened because I believe it was CBS in Orlando just put out the same statement as you were talking about earlier. You're 100% accurate on that, brother. I believe the report's correct. I believe you're 100% accurate. You're usually 99.9 like Lysol. But once again, guys, thanks for the million views. And I wanted to go over 4 million views. And I also want to go over the SBA Small Business Committee talk that they had today about the PPP forgiveness real quick. It was a mess. It was the congressional officials were all pounding on the SBA. They're pounding on Yellen for not being there. They're pounding on the threatening letter that lenders are receiving saying, look, if you don't get into the portal, we may audit you, and kind of a threat saying they want the lenders to take the SBA portal forgiveness route or send their clients to the SBA portal route. And lenders are like, whoa, these are our clients. Why are you trying to take our clients from us? Because we know the SBA don't really have clients. They have, citizens, but these lenders have clients. They're like, why are you trying to take our clients when we can give them more personal service than you can? And we like our forgiveness plan, programs better than yours. And I went through my first PPP forgiveness. I went through Fundbox, and to be honest with you, it was much easier than the SBA's Fundbox. SBA's forgiveness. Fundbox had literally filled out the form for me and just had me click a couple boxes. In the SBA's it was simple too. It wasn't that hard, but it was a little harder than the Fundbox, who I originally got my first loan from and my first forgiveness from. And my first forgiveness from Fundbox came back a lot faster than apparently the SBA is still in forgiveness. You know how that goes. The SBA, whenever they get involved, the private sector does it better than the government, period. I wanted to go over some of the key takeaways that today Congress just tearing up the SBA, and Isabel Guzman's job may be in jeopardy here. She might be getting fired. She is not getting. There's literally congressmen coming out and saying, "Look, you came to Minnesota and you didn't even invite us to the hearing to your meeting in Minnesota, and we're the congressmen. I couldn't believe when I heard him say that. I believe it was Haystorn that said that, but he said, we're not even invited, or it might have been Stauber, it was Stauber from Minnesota. He said, we're not even invited to it. What kind of transparency is this? What kind of bipartisanship is this? We have small businesses we have, skin in this game where you're at, and all you're doing is inviting the Democrats. You didn't even invite any Republican to a small business meeting. Anyway, here's one thing that Lukemeyer was talking about today regarding the threats that the lenders have been receiving from the small businesses. Let me go ahead and click over to that.
As I have been examining SBA's new direct forgiveness process, it has come to my attention that lenders have received multiple messages, which could quite conceivably could be considered a threat from the SBA on potential for enhanced lender audits based on their participation within the direct forgiveness process, or if they have not offered 2021 PPP borrowers an opportunity to move through loan forgiveness. I will not stand by and let lenders who are punished for working closely with their small business borrowers. The SBA, their dismal performance and attempt at direct lending through the Eidl program should provide a warning to everybody that the SBA is ill-suited to perform many of these tasks. I will continue to watch these developments closely. Mr. Fisher, you talked about in your testimony something that is very, very concerning to me with regards to the SBA and their threat to audit entities, banks, credit unions, other entities that made these PPP loans if they don't participate in the portal. What is your experience with this? Or what have you heard about this? Can you elaborate a little bit? I know you said in your testimony, I'm reading it here as well. Would you like to elaborate just a little bit on that, please?
Sure. We received communication from the SBA on Monday that there was a potential for an audit if you did not participate in the portal, the forgiveness portal. And we've, from day one, we get them to seek to apply for the forgiveness. So,
in other words, it's a choice on your part how you want to approach forgiveness, and the SBA is trying to threaten you into making the choice their choice, basically. Is that correct?
That's how it feels, yes.
Well, I would urge you, if you find banks that have received this threat and then receive an audit as a result of that, please contact me in my office. We want to follow up on this. We want to hold SBA accountable for outrageous statements like this. This cannot go unchallenged. This cannot be allowed to happen. So please work with us if you see this happening within the banking community that you work and your association works with. Thank you so much for that.
So, Mr.
I want to elaborate on that because I know the lenders watch this channel as well. Anybody that's usually deeply involved in the SBA watches this channel, a lot of them. And just to let the lenders know out there, as a borrower as well, as the emails that I was getting from the SBA to apply for the forgiveness portal, they were pretty pushy, saying, look, this is the way it's going to be. It's going to be the forgiveness portal that you're going to be going through. You need to do this, and you need to do it before time expires. It was kind of like, you need to hurry up and get into the SBA portal now. And I didn't even feel like I had an option to get into the portal, and I know a lot of my viewers didn't either. They didn't feel like they had an option from a lender to get into the portal, maybe because we didn't receive a forgiveness application from our lender yet. We don't know. But just to let them know, I felt that pressure. I know what he's talking about because we felt that pressure here. The borrowers were feeling that pressure as well. I looked for the email. I couldn't find it. It was in my trash. It was buried. I wish I could find it and bring it up to you. But yeah, it was very pressuring, and it was more than once that they emailed us, the borrowers, to apply to the SBA portal and not to the private lenders portal, which kind of struck me as odd, but now it's all making sense. A power push. But here we go. I'm going to go back to Texas Congressman here and see what he had to say.
Fisher, you've touched on this, but I think we need to talk about it even more. Can you discuss the risks you may face due to the recent announcement from the SBA and why you chose to opt out of direct PPP forgiveness in the first place?
Obviously, as I said before, they've threatened potential audits, although they sent a follow-up email that maybe said that we wouldn't be audited, but I'm not sure, which letter to believe. But
that is why I'm very concerned about the letter that was received, somewhat threatening letter from SBA to the email, I should say, from SBA to lenders to avoid lender audits, encouraging them to move into the direct forgiveness program instead of working through their own institution. My staff and many of us and many of our constituents have come to us concerned about the problems they've had with SBA. So to me, the fact that we have wonderful institutions like, community banks, community credit unions, that serve customers so directly, I think that's a huge win. And I just think it's a mistake that they're using any kind of coercive tactics.
I was really troubled to hear that SBA was threatening lenders to opt into the direct forgiveness program to avoid audits by the Office of Credit Risk Management. Where SBA later clarified that audits would focus on lenders that have yet to accept forgiveness for 2021 PPP borrowers or those that are not actively reaching out, the damage has been done. And SBA must be careful not to vilify lenders moving forward. And I also must stress that whether a bank or any other lending institution opts in or not with the SBA's forgiveness portal has no bearing on a borrower's opportunity to get their PPP loan forgiven.
In terms of the forgiveness review. So it does add days. It also adds frustration and confusion and stress for the borrower in terms of the fear that why am I under review? So there's a lot of factors, but it does add time and it can add other things, stress that a small business owner does not need at this time.
I want to echo Congressman Hagedorn's request and express my disappointment.
I want to go back since I had that
discussing
little bump in there. I'm going to go back to her,
policies
but she
yet
is talking about the stress
Stress
that this brings on to small businesses. And I can't even, I can't, you all know we talked to Dr. Carr on this show not too long ago. She's looking to get her loan too. She still hasn't gotten it yet. But she was saying that the stress of the stress level of this pandemic to small businesses, it's more than people can imagine for a lot of families out there, the stress level that's been placed upon them. So having this extra SBA power pull against them and more red tape being involved here, it makes for a stressful time. And I just wanted to go back over that.
Confusion and stress for the borrower in terms of the fear that why am I under review? So there's a lot of factors, but it does add time and it can add other things, stress that a small business owner does not need at this time.
I want to echo Congressman Hagedor's request and express my disappointment that we're discussing complex policies yet again without an SBA representative present. There are questions that members of this committee have that can only be answered by those actually running the program. So I hope we can have someone from SBA in front of the committee very, very soon.
And that's kind of it right there, guys. That was pretty much the SBA getting pounded today from congressmen and women all over the United States. And I put a couple more videos out. You might want to go check them out. One with Saber talking about Yellen not even being at the meetings and where's Guzman, and another one with Hagedorn, who also was talking about the prejudice that's in the SBA, as well as the RRF, Restaurant Revitalization Fund, not being funded still with $60 billion that they allocated from the Eidl grant money. And that's still up abroad, where all these restaurants are still out of luck right now because the SBA can't get their act together. And he's got Saber is saying, look, we got a problem with Guzman. Guzman's just, maybe she's not the person for the job here. We all thought from the beginning that she might have been a mistake. We were hoping for the best and expecting the worst. I'm glad we were expecting some worse here, because it got pretty bad for a lot of small businesses out there. And now seeing the power pull from the SBA, taking money, taking control over the PPP program, the PPP went fantastic. So the SBA needs to keep their hands off of private sectors, because less government, the better. Once again, shout out to Jason McElhone and all he's done out there for everybody. Go subscribe to him on Twitter, and check his new video out on YouTube. Another good one. The one he put up yesterday was amazing as well. It had a lot of information in it. And I want to thank you, brother, for the fight that you're continuing to fight for these people. I want to thank all you guys out there for the fight that you are continuing along with us to hold the SBA accountable, and also more so than that, but to get your loans, to get the grants to those businesses out there in need right now that are suffering and that are going through a lot of stress in their lives. And so this is why we want to continue with the push that we've got going, because now the Congress is back in session. Doing the committee hearings and stuff like that, we have a little bit of help, and they're back answering the phones. And once again, I will call Stubby tomorrow again and see if I can get in touch with his staff members. As I've talked to their staff members, they're amazing down there, but I called a little late today, so I will get the information on that 600,000 people backlog in the IRS that seems to still be a problem. So once again, guys, like, subscribe, and somebody say, hey, I want my 10K.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah.